everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Doing Norton podcast with me, Hannah, and my dad,
Richard.
We are going to be talking about wrestling, mostly WWE and some Lucha Underground.
Well, hi. For another episode. So how you doing today?
Very good.
Real quick before we get started, how about you tell us a little something about yourself? How did you get into watching wrestling?
Well, one day I was just flipping through the channels on TV and I saw WWE Monday Night Raw, and I just started liking it from there. And so my dad got the network, and now we are here.
Doing a podcast together. How time flies when you're having fun. Okay, let's just get started. WWE and the brand split. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's pretty cool how they're doing a brand split, how some people are going to Raw and some people are going to SmackDown.
Yep. So much talent on the roster, so you got to break it up. My opinion on this, I think it would work really good if they run both shows as different companies. You agree with that? Like, I'm sorry, I cut you off real quick, but like if you have SmackDown, and obviously you're gonna have SmackDown and Raw, but they never cross. They're just two very different shows. I think that's the way they should go with that. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with that. How, just like how you said, they don't really clash with each other, but they're two very different things.
That would be a good way to go. Yeah, so as long as they don't clash, you just have two separate entities, I think it would be good. Well, for this episode, let's talk about the actual drafts. In honor of the draft, I think we should do a mock draft. Just a quick one. Top 5 guys for Raw and SmackDown, and you could be Raw. Who would be your 5 people? And I'll be SmackDown, and we'll go from there.
Well, my first person would have to be Seth Rollins.
Good choice.
My second would be Sami Zayn, and I am a huge Sami Zayn fan. And my third would have to be the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. And my fourth is are actually the tag team champions, which are the New Day.
So you'll be taking all 3 New Day?
Yes, I would.
Members?
Yes, I would.
All right, I like that. Anyone else?
And my fifth would also be a tag team from NXT, and they would be Enzo and Cass.
Wow, you'll take Enzo and Big Cass for your 5 pick. I like that's a good choice right there, because I could see Big Cass having a big future soon in the WWE. They're playing him as a big man, so I see big things in that man's future. Let's see. That's your Raw picks, right?
Yes.
Okay, here are my SmackDown picks. I'm going to start off just like you, Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins knows what's up. He could carry a whole show on his shoulders by himself. That'll be my number 1 pick. Number 2, John Cena. The guy, it's just John Cena. You can't say anything bad about the guy. He knows how to work. He's the 15-time WWE champion. And guess what? He is, what did AJ refer to him as? The face that runs this place?
Yes.
Well, that's what he is. Number 3, I'm going to take the Club. AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. For my number 4 pick would be Dean Ambrose, just like you picked him. Right now he's a WWE heavyweight champion. And number 5 would be Kevin Owens, because I just believe it's time to separate Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn right now. That's a feud that could probably go on forever. So no need to burn it out right now so quick. So just separate them. Keep one in SmackDown, the other in Raw. That's our 5 picks. Our mock draft. Okay, so we're doing this. What titles do you think should stay? Say Raw's gonna have their set of titles, and SmackDown's gonna have their set of titles. What do you think?
Well, the first title that I should think Raw should have would be the WWE Heavyweight Championship. And my second would have to be the Women's Championship. And last but not...
Wait, hold on. So when you say Women's Championship, are you saying the whole women's division should stay on Raw?
Yes, I do.
That makes sense. You have 3 hours on Raw, and let's dedicate an extra hour to that third hour to more
the women.
To more women's matches. I agree with you. I like that. That's a good thought on your part. How about any other titles? Secondary titles?
Well, it would have to be the IC title.
Okay, I like it. So you're gonna have the IC. You would have the IC title, Intercontinental Championship, and the women's title. Pretty much the whole division, keeping the whole division on Raw. I like that. And from this past Monday, the WWE has changed the title name already, indicating that there's going to be 2 champions. One for SmackDown, one for Raw. They dropped the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and they just made it WWE Heavyweight Champ. For me on SmackDown, I think I would take the US title and just make it the secondary title over there. And also bring over the tag team titles. That's who so I'm thinking there's going to be more. I would have more tag teams, obviously, on SmackDown just for the fact that the tag team titles are on SmackDown. Makes more sense. That's the way I would play it. Okay, let's get off that topic for a second. Let's go to NXT. What people do you think are in NXT that should be called up to the main roster?
Well, there are 2 main people that I really believe that should be brought up to the WWE. And my first would have to be Bayley. And my second would definitely have to be Finn Balor.
Wow, Finn Balor and Bayley. I think they're due for theirs. People are salivating at the fact that Finn Balor is just messing with everyone, posting on Twitter these little pictures of the Raw stage on Monday. He posted that earlier in the day, and people are going crazy thinking he's going to make his debut on Monday, which didn't happen. Just driving people nuts. I believe everyone's waiting for him to show up. I also think Finn Balor's due. I think he's gonna run his last match with Shinsuke Nakamura, and then debut very soon on the main roster. I also agree with you with Bayley. Bayley pretty much has done everything she could do in the NXT. Her other running mates, the other 4 horsewomen, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, are already on the main roster. Why not bring up Bayley? She's a good worker. Maybe they're just waiting for the right time. Anyone else, or just those 2? You think?
Those two are my main pick to be brought up. So that's it.
Oh wow, okay. I got one more that I would bring up. The tag team, American Alphas.
Oh yeah, the American Alpha.
Is that what they're called? For some reason, it didn't sound right when I said that. The American Alphas.
The American Alpha.
Well, I think they're ready to. It would be cool. I got this from my nephew. He said it was his idea of him talking about it, and it made sense. since WWE are trying to get a hold of former superstars, why not bring back Kurt Angle and have them start the new Team Angle? But hey, that's neither here nor there, since they just shot down rumors that Kurt Angle was making a comeback to the WWE. But yeah, the American Alphas. The women's division, we already talked about that. Let's go back to it really quick. I think they should keep that whole division on Raw. Bring up Bayley. Bring up a couple other women from NXT to just make it a strong division. You already have Carmella in NXT. Bring her up. Bring up Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Those two girls could go. I think you should stock Monday Night Raw with the women and have a tag team title. What do you think about that?
I really like that, how there's a lot of women's tag team out there, so I really think they should make a title just for them, like that.
Just bring up, pretty much agreeing with what I said, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you have more than enough talent already. Come on. The brand is going to split. You're going to have extra time, so you don't have to see the same people wrestle all the time. Start using the women again. Next, let's see. Let's talk a little Lucha Underground. But before that, you know what? Let's jump back one before. This has something to do with Lucha Underground. Like, there are certain wrestlers out there that I believe should go back to the WWE, and right now is the time. And my pick is Johnny Mundo, formerly John Morrison, formerly Johnny Nitro. What do you think about that? Who do you see any wrestler from any other promotion that should be in the WWE right now?
I was thinking Prince Puma, aka Ricochet, to be in the WWE.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think now's the time. Puma, I think eventually he'll be there. But Johnny Mundo, I think now's the time for him to go back to the WWE. Especially with the headliners they have right now, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. That's perfect for his type of style. He'll fit perfectly with those guys. And I'm not talking bringing him back to feud with The Miz for the IC title. I'm talking about bring him back and give him a shot. Let's see how far he could go with the title. And you said Prince Puma, right?
I was actually wondering, would you like to see Johnny Mundo or John Morrison in the WWE?
Oh, good question. I really not a fan of the John Morrison. The Johnny Mundo thing, it works right now. I'm a fan of the Johnny Mundo. It's just a better. For some reason, the gimmicks are almost the same, but not quite. And I think it works. I prefer the Johnny Mundo gimmick over the John Morrison. But I doubt the WWE would ever bring the Johnny Mundo character over, especially since they already have a built-in John Morrison character already in place there. And you said you like Ricochet,
yes.
Prince Puma. What did you think about the Will Ospreay and Ricochet match?
Well, I actually really like that match. The high flying stuff is really my thing, but for actually older wrestlers, older wrestling fans, they didn't really like how all that high flying, and because it was already planned out. So.
When you say planned out, okay, it looked really choreographed. That's
exactly.
what you meant. Yeah, I guess I fall in that category. I really was not a fan. I watched it. I have nothing bad to say about it, but I could only watch that match. I wouldn't be able to watch a 1 hour show on with just those type of matches on there. It's just too much high flying and too many. Yeah, it looked really choreographed. Obviously, it's all choreographed, but still, it's just something that didn't rub me the right way. All right, now let's go back to Lucha Underground. We just finished watching an episode. I believe we watched last week's episode. We're still trying to catch up. The women's match. What'd you think about that tag team match? It was Sexy Star teamed up with
Ivelisse. No,
no,
sorry.
no, Sexy Star and
team-
Mariposa.
Mariposa, exact. Thank you.
And
it was Taya
and
Ivelisse.
Ivelisse. There you go. You know what? These women could go, especially Mariposa and Sexy Star. Those two had a match about a month ago, and oh my goodness, that was a good match. And I got nothing bad to say about all four of those women pieces. It was a pretty good tag team match, and be it that it was those four women. And I'm not a big fan of Lucha Underground, but those four women could go. What'd you think about those? What'd you think about that match, and what stood out for you?
I really liked that match, and I really liked that match because the teams in that match were actually rivals. How Ivelisse and Taya were having a feud, and Sexy Star and Mariposa were having a feud. So I thought that match was very good and very interesting. Well, now let's move on to the end show.
End of the show.
End of the show, and with Rey Mysterio and Prince Puma.
Oh yeah, that little promo Puma cut on
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, talking about how he's ready to take over to be the new high flyer in the wrestling industry, and he would love to take on
Rey
Mysterio. And I love the way Rey Mysterio put it, that he's still the king when it comes to that. And Prince Puma, guess what? He's just the prince. That would be a pretty good. Actually, I'm looking forward to see that. I hope it. I think I'm still a week behind, like I was saying. So I don't think that's happened yet. But if it has, we're gonna have to watch it later today. If not, we will watch it when it's on. But that match, it will be enjoying to watch it. Real quick, going back to the tag team match. Yeah, got nothing bad to say about those women, especially cheerleader Melissa. I'm sorry, Mariposa. Yeah, I'm a big fan of hers, and maybe one day we'll get to see all four of those women in a WWE ring or NXT ring. Only time will tell about that. Okay, we're coming up on our end of our show. Just say one more time, thank you people, thank you guys for listening.
Yes, thank you all for listening to our podcast. To our Doing the Orton podcast, as I should say.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great day and good night.